It's our strong belief, and we are working on this now since nearly 40 years in Egypt, that a community based on real sustainable development, which means a community which is based on organic or biodynamic agriculture, which is really caring for the individual human development in all respects, whether it's health or education or research, a community which is trying to add value to the raw materials from organic or biodynamic farming in a way which will connect or reconnect the farmer to the consumer, and which distributes the added value in a fair way, and a community which, as a community, tries to reinvent itself every day and really asks itself every day how to adapt to the changing context and changing conditions, has a higher level of resilience. When we started, my father started basically 40 years ago, then the idea of transforming desert into a living soil where people can work and live and learn together seemed to be a mission impossible, a dream, an illusion which will never happen. And with his patience and passion for this community development idea, SEKEM is still there, and today there is a community of several thousand people where they grow biodynamic and organic products, all kind of products, and use this biodynamic agricultural model as a model which is more resilient to climate change, more resilient to water scarcity, more resilient to the salinity challenges in the Egyptian desert than any other conventional system we know. It has proven its success. It has proven that it is the way forward for desert land reclamation in Egypt. But at the same time, this would not be yet enough to create a miracle like the SEKEM miracle in the desert. So it also needed a continuation of the added value stream. So our so-called economics of love, the Sad al-Mahabba, as my father called it, and today, nowadays, you would call it fair trade. So to take the raw materials and try to add value to them in a way which enables you to compete with conventional products in the market and distribute enough added value to everyone, from consumer, trader, producer, to the farmer, to also enable a livelihood for the farmers. And this is, I think, one part of this success story, that farmers believe in this trusted system for them. Farmers see that they get an income which is really supporting their development, supporting their family's development, supporting the education of their kids. And hence they stay to it and they support it and they are part of the big family of SEKEM. So we had biodynamic farming as one, let's say, pillar of this whole development, but it's also the fair trade organization of the business. And then it's also the efforts we are doing continuously to really foster a healthy living, learning organization. So how to get young and old Muslims and Christians, Egyptians and foreigners, men and women into a community where everyone has his rights, everyone has equal opportunity, everyone has the opportunity to develop himself, but also to contribute. This is an effort which we are doing every day by meeting every day in a circle. And in our circles, then everyone really feels as part of a family, because whether he is the quality control manager or the doorkeeper, he will always have the same position in the circle. For a country like Egypt, the events which led to the first and second revolution in Egypt are events, to our belief, directly connected to all dimensions of sustainable development. So the issue of social solidarity, the issue that there are few rich and a lot of poor people, and the poor cannot afford a livelihood. This is something which cannot continue for a long period of time if it's not addressed. The issue of a very bad education system, and nobody really interested to educate people in a better way, is something which will lead to this kind of problems, challenges, or revolutions. The continuous abuse of your natural resources, whether it's water, and Egypt has only very limited resources, it's the Nile basically, and Egypt is living in a water scarcity situation without addressing the issue. Or Egypt being the second most harmed country by climate change in the world, and nobody recognizing it and nobody working on the issue. Or Egypt as a country not being able to include its citizens in a way that they have the feeling that they are part of the decision-making process. And whether you call it democracy or whatever other decision-making way, if your people feel neglected, they will stand up at a certain time. So we believe that working on these 4 dimensions for a country, for a community, is necessary to have a smooth, ongoing, sustainable development. By not addressing these issues on the long term, the countries in the region are running into problems, and these problems will lead to change, whether it's through revolution or small and continuous change, but this change is going to happen. And there's nothing which is going to stop the change. There is no political force, whether it's monarchy or any other form of rulership, which can stop the change of the necessary changes to happen. Because future generations, the young Egyptians in universities and outside universities, will not allow this to go on forever. So it's a question of time, and they can delay the process, but they will not be able to delay it forever. So I'm also optimistic that this change is going to happen. One of the things we are, as SEKEM, very active in promoting is that the change happens out of wisdom, example, the good model, and we are trying to promote these ideas, whether it's the sustainable agriculture, whether it's a holistic education system, whether it's more research into the issues of sustainability, because we believe when people start to address them in a meaningful way, then the change can also happen out of understanding and wisdom. And then what is going to happen, we will see. It's going to be a mix of a lot of different things, but we are hopeful. I'm very happy that we addressed this issue today in the conference, because I think it's a major issue. We have to rethink the organization of the added value stream and of the supply chain. And I think only when we do this, and only when we have a fair distribution of the added value, and only if we have a fair price for farmers, distributors, and consumers, then things will change. This needs, in my understanding, social entrepreneurs, people who don't look only into the profit maximization of their own organization,